Hello, everybody. Well, I am here today to speak to you about the Cancer new moon on June the 25th. I am recording this well ahead of time because I'll be traveling in the UK at the end of the month and I do not want to be recording videos while I'm there. So who knows what the world will look like by the time of this new moon. But I can tell you that this is a month that changes everything. So we're going to look at the chart in a minute and we're going to talk about the aspects, the numbers, of course, and I pulled a card as I always do, and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to kind of sum it up at the end. But before I dive in, I want to just say that even though this new moon brings the tide in so hard, I want to ask you to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and tap the bell so you don't miss a beat of this wild astro ride. Now, before we dive in, I'm seeding, literally on this new moon, my upcoming book on Ceres, the one that rewrites the feminine in astrology. Stay tuned, it's coming out July the 13th. Membership prices are going to go up on July the 1st. In fact, all my prices. So consultations and memberships. So now is the perfect time to join the Spiral Weave or the Nest and support this sacred work. So before we dive in, I will say, and I'll come back to it again in a little bit, I actually pulled the 4 card. Oops, wrong way up. There's the 4 card. In this deck, this is the myth of Daedalus and Icarus. And that means that this feels like a trapdoor opening under our feet. And that tracks because the Sabian, Chandra, and Omega symbols for this moon are bizarrely precise. So this is your card for this new moon. Now, the new moon lands on a 22 universal day. That's the master builder number, the architect of sacred systems. It's also a 7-day and a 6-month inner work, soul retrieval and rebalancing, as you can imagine, for the new moon in Cancer. New moon, dark moon, Cancer, safety, security, pulling down the shell and pulling your pincers in, right? So the moon is at 4 Cancer for the new moon, and that's a number of foundations, security, and the base chakra. Oh, so this is not just any moon. So I'm going to show you the chart, but then I'm going to stop the share and just talk about what it all means. So we have, here you can see, we have this new moon here for Cancer, 404 actually. So it's a double 4. So going back to what that number 4 means. It's conjunct Jupiter, which as I record this is just moving into the sign of Cancer. And this here is asteroid chaos. This gives you some idea of what this new moon is like. And then you can see these blue lines here. We have a lovely water grand trine to talk to the hand asteroid Lilith in Pisces. And that takes us then over here to Hecate, Haumea, and Vesta in Scorpio to make a water grand trine. But it's not just a grand trine, it's actually a kite. So this is all pointing at Mars in Virgo. So that makes it a very yin, earth, water, grand trine kite. Okay, so other things I will talk about are here. We have Uranus at the end of Taurus at a very anaretic degree because Uranus will be moving into Gemini for the first time on July the 7th. And we also have this new moon is square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, of course, as well. We also have the nodes are sitting at 21 degrees Virgo Pisces, but Nessus, Centaur Nessus, is exactly conjunct the North Node. And then we have this little bunch here. This is Eris, the table turner, but again I'll mention all these again when we go through. And this is Chiron, the wounded healer, and this is Okiroe. This is Chiron's daughter and Chiron and Chariklo's daughter. So these are speaking to each other strongly in Aries. There's more I could talk about, but this is plenty, believe me. Lastly, we have Ceres, who I've just written the book on, so I hope you'll buy it when it's out, is square to Pholus in Capricorn. I'm going to talk about all of those things and then give you a general kind of overview, right? So let me dive in to all of this. So the main event, the actual new moon at 4 degrees, is conjunct, as I mentioned, expansive Jupiter and asteroid chaos, who are both at 3 degrees of Cancer. Now, this is both the womb of potential and the storm before birth. This is going to bring big feelings, big healing, big mess all at once. It's going to be feeling like the oceans are, this is why I put silvery oceans behind. Silver is Cancer's, one of Cancer's colours. And this is such a watery new moon, especially with that water grand trine that we'll talk about in a second. So, but first, the new moon squares Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So yes, we have the dream and the discipline in fiery tension with the watery realm of this moon. It's like trying to swim through steam and stone. It's a pressure cooker, really, and a portal of initiation. And then we have this kite of grace. But so yes, there is pressure, but there's also this divine setup for release and integration through the stunning Earth-Water Kite. So as mentioned before, the new moon trines asteroid Lilith in Pisces, Hecate, Haumea and Vesta in Scorpio, and all of this is grounded by Mars in Virgo, the sacred edge of embodied action. This is a sacred feminine or yin strategy, not flailing. If you've been holding back on doing the thing, this moon says it's time. Build the damn altar. And then we get some awkward truth bombs. The moon is also quincunx Pluto in Aquarius. Translation, you can't logic your way through the underworld. The emotional body is the gatekeeper. And other tensions and turning points that we have. Uranus sitting at 29 degrees of Taurus, that liminal threshold, tense degree of the last sign of this, of after spending about 7 years in the sign of Taurus. Now, Uranus will move back into Taurus to revisit. This will be the first ingress, but we're feeling it. We're feeling the call of Uranus in Gemini as it's coming. And we're feeling like this radical breakthroughs and breakdowns at the end of Taurus. All right. Black Moon Lilith opposes Uranus from 27 Scorpio, and that is stirring deep truths and raw liberation. Mercury in the sign of Cancer sextiles Uranus. News, insights, and disclosures could jolt you out of your comfort zone on this new moon. Now then, the karmic axis. We have the nodes, the moon's nodes sitting at 21 degrees Virgo Pisces, and asteroid Nessus is conjunct the north node, almost exactly. They're at the same degree. Now, Nessus brings the legacy of abuse, toxicity, and inherited trauma, and it's time to transmute the poison into sacred medicine. We also have Okiroe, Eris, and Chiron conjunct in Aries, and this is fierce medicine around truth-telling, especially when it costs you approval or identity. So there's healing through disruption with this. Add to the fact that we have Ceres in Cancer, the planet of needs both met and unmet, squaring off to Pholus in Capricorn. This is another hard look at how the structures we live under are not meeting our needs and how we are the bringers of the change for what we want to see in the world. So the tarot card, okay, the Fool, I mentioned that already. So this is not just about flying too close to the sun. It's the grief of the architect watching the collapse and still choosing to build again. And then we have the symbols, the Sabian symbol, a cat arguing with a mouse. I can't help but think of Tom and Jerry every time I read that. So power dynamics, delusion and projection. Who really has the upper hand? And Chandra symbol is a trapdoor under a rug. You thought it was solid ground. It's not. What opens when you fall? And the Omega symbol, a statue of ice sitting in the desert. It doesn't melt. This is about presence, the eternal moment in a place where it shouldn't exist. You are the anomaly. Let it melt or let it become art. So, in summary, this Cancer moon is a portal of sacred chaos. It's a call to release the illusion of control and root into sacred strategy. To fall, yes, but with intention. To open the trap door, to step through it and let the cool water becoming hold you. It's messy, mythic, and necessary. Let the waters rise, let the ground shift. You are being reformed. If this resonated, hit that subscribe, like, share with your fellow starry misfits, and don't forget to join the Spiral Weave or the Nest before prices rise on July the 1st, or schedule a consultation with me. And keep your eye out for my book on Ceres. I promise she's not what you've been told. She's so much more. Now go dance in the water. With love from the loom, Louise. I love you. I'll see you on the other side.